It's time for Go Big Blue with Blue Eagle head football coach Andrew Williams and your host David Jennings. Join us for a recap of last week's game and a preview of this week's matchup as we bring you the latest on Blue Eagle football every Thursday at 8 p.m. throughout the season. We encourage you to comment and take part of the show and show your support for
another airing of Go Big Blue. I am David Jennings, and for the next hour, I will be your host here as we take an in-depth, behind-the-scenes look at WSN football. Joining me, as always, head football coach and the star of the show, Coach Andrew Williams. Coach, good to be back with you again this week.
Glad to be here again this week.
I want to take just a few moments to recognize those that take care of us each and every week, and have to start with the show's executive producer, Ken James. Ken is the one that makes it go. Gotten a little bit of a spot here tonight technically, but if we hadn't had him, we wouldn't be going out tonight. Exactly. So we certainly appreciate Ken and all his efforts. He doesn't like to hear his name called, but also want to thank James Grantham for all that he does behind the scenes. He's lined up all the sponsors to support the show, and has helped us tremendously each and every week in terms of getting equipment in, getting it set up, whatever's been asked of him. I know he's been a big benefit to you in your time here as well, and I want to thank James for everything that he does also. And, of course, this show's sponsors. Without that support, it wouldn't be possible each and every week. So we want to take just a couple of minutes to recognize those many entities and business individuals who have supported Go Big Blue. Fred's Department Store with the manager, Peggy Booker. Shara Lawn Care, Michael Shara. He's a new sponsor. Welcome, Michael, to Go Big Blue this week. Northside Tire and Garage, Wesley Finley. Bruton Mill Federal Credit Union, Linda Williamson. James Furniture, Jesse Rigby. City of East Bruton, Mayor Terry Clark and the City Council. Holmes Pest Control, JoJo Holmes. Encore Rehabilitation. Tommy Thompson Trucking. Lucas Tire and Welding, Terry Lucas. Weavers on the Boardwalk, Andrew and Jenny Clark. Camp 31, our host here tonight, Larry Murphy. Thank you, Larry. Horton's Insurance, Keith Horton, Trustmark Bank, Williams Memorial Chapel, Mike and Michael Williams, United Bank, Lauren Yoder, L.A. Party Rentals, Dwayne and Amber Graves, South Alabama Kubota and Rental there in Monroeville, Daniel Salter, David's Catfish, Josh Godwin, and Timberline Homes with Winston Lindsay. We mentioned Camp 31 and Larry Murphy, and what a nice venue this has turned out, Coach, to host Go Big Blue. We were here last weekend for the homecoming edition. Back here again tonight. Great crowd on hand. If you're in the listening area, we appreciate you tuning in. We'd like to personally invite you to come down and enjoy some good food or some good fellowship and get your kind of taste of WSN football heading into the weekend. This is a nice setup, Coach.
Man, it is. Got a great crowd in the house tonight, and you got to give tribute to James Grantham for setting it out for everybody tonight for us to, getting the meals going tonight. So we appreciate the hospitality and from the guy that's over this Camp 31 and Mr. Murphy and everybody that's in the house, man. He's been doing it for a long time, and, of course, here on Go Big Blue, there is a special for those of you that are still looking to get a bite to eat tonight. There's a boneless chicken finger or chicken wing special with French fries, $7.99. So come on down and get a good bite to eat and join us here live for Go Big Blue. Coach, let's turn back the clock 1 week ago. Tomorrow, homecoming, big day in town, a big week there on the campus at WSN High School. A big win. Homecoming only works if you win the football game. Enjoyed so much visiting with some of your senior football players last week, and of course we had our queen, Allie Jackson, in as well. It was a lot of fun to catch up with her. But a big week culminated by a big homecoming win, and I know that you had to be pretty pleased overall with getting all that behind you and getting that done, and looking forward to the challenge ahead. Yeah, I thought we handled the elements of the game for the most part. We talked about being able to play the game and not handling the elements of things that came with homecoming. I think we're growing. We're learning how to do that and learning how to practice as a whole and get the distractions off of us. And I thought we did a pretty good job for the most part. And that comes from our kids, our leaders, and our guys, older guys that's been around this game that knows how to play a homecoming game and handle, like I said, the elements that come with it. The parade and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, we talk to our kids like I told you last week. 7 o'clock is the time that we got to make sure we taking care of our business on the field. That's what the homecoming's about. And I was real proud of our guys for doing that. Thought we came out and, like I said, just handled our business and took control of the game early. I thought we wanted to do that as a whole, and I thought we did that overall. Coach, you certainly took care of business down in Calhoun by a wide margin Friday night, and I know that you're able to get your frontline players a little bit of work before getting them some probably much-needed rest.
But one of the things about those games, when you get into one that you're able to win handily, you're able to get some of those younger guys some game time experience as well. A lot of those guys don't always get the game reps and more competitively played football games, and to get those young guys out there, I know they enjoy it. I know as a coaching staff, you enjoy getting to see them get out there and kind of mix it up a little bit. The parents, it's just a win-win-win, and I'm sure it was nice to see some young guys get out there and put their skills on display also.
It was. The biggest thing is we got a chance to play some with our first offensive line, play some second and third string guys with our first offensive line. We kept those guys in to the half, and then after half we unloaded with everybody. But for the most part, we continued to get better as we went. The second half we only played 8-minute quarters, so we didn't get a whole lot of work in like we wanted with our younger guys, but they did get some good work in. We started unloading those guys in the second quarter, and again, all the guys came out and took care of business. I knew they weren't going to have many carries. I told them they better maximize the opportunities they have running the ball as well as defensively, just getting on and off the field. So we wanted to make sure we do a good job on our specialty game and not play down to that level and, find ways to score in that phase of the game. We scored in all three phases of the game for the most part as well as defensively. So real proud of our guys for that. And main thing is, taking care of your business early and then allowing your young guys to come out and finish the game and continue to coach those guys up because we'll be dependent on a lot of those guys down here in the future.
Big win for the Blue Eagles. That evens your overall record at 2-2 on the season. Of course, another tremendous challenge on hand tomorrow as you take your football team on the road over to Ozark, Alabama to take on Carroll High School, the number 4 ranked team in 5A. Of course, the Blue Eagles mixed it up with them last year, had a very good football game here at the house, and that team went on, Carroll speaking, went 10-0 in the regular season last year, got beaten in the third round of the playoffs by the eventual state champion. And to hear you speak about them a little bit, they're probably just as good, maybe a little better than they were last year.
Yeah, they're a senior-late football team for the most part. They got a big junior class as well. I think they've got about 17 or 18 juniors in that class and probably about 13 seniors. And they're very, very mature football team. You can tell by watching them on film that they're mature about what they're doing. They're business-like, and they have a good time playing the game. They're a team of my own heart. They believe in playing the game physical, in your face for 4 quarters. And, we didn't tell our kids. We told them straight up, told them the truth. We felt like that they're going to come out and make it be a bloodbath and try to hit you in your mouth as much as possible. And, we got to make sure we're ready to respond or initiate the punch in the game. And Coach McDonald, Roger McDonald is the coach over there. He's been a lot of different places. He's an old school type guy. Spent his last stint over in Georgia and came back to Carroll. And, he's done a great job in this little bit of time. They were actually a team that was in the 6A ranks and here a couple of years ago and played on that level and then dropped down to 5A. And the speed of the game is what I'm impressed with. They play fast, they play physical, and they play that way for 4 quarters on both sides of the ball. We're going to have our hands full for that part of the game, but I think we have a great plan in all 3 facets of the game, and we're going to try to have a good time with it and take our guys over there and see where where they're going to lay up and stand up to the occasion, or accept the challenge that Carroll got to offer.
Coach, as we continue to talk about the challenge that Carroll will present tomorrow, so many comments coming in. We appreciate each and every one of them. We would encourage you to share the video as many times you see fit. We enjoy the comments. We'd rather speak with you, not at you throughout the night. So continue to post as you please. A little bit later in the program, we'll try to take a question or two for the coach. So once again, we had one post come in from Brian McCall announcing that the middle school football team won their game on Monday night against Ernest Ward, 16-14. So a nice job there by the young guys. Want to certainly recognize them as we can. And once again, it's appreciate the post. It would encourage you to do so throughout the broadcast. Once again, Coach, speaking about going over to Ozark Friday, it's a pretty good road trip. And talk a little bit about the learning experience and the leadership that is needed. It takes a little bit to you as a person to be able to get on a bus, go 2 hours across the state and be over there and be in the right mindset to compete when you get there, certainly against a good team that Carroll will have. And them being a quality opponent will command a certain amount of respect. But you're also going to need some of your senior leaders to step up and make sure that the bus ride over is treated as a business trip and not a field trip.
Yeah, we talked about that as a team, and this is something we can utilize to help our team for down the road. And we'll treat it, so to speak, like a playoff trip, so to speak. And like I said, we've got to talk to our kids about making sure that we handle this as a business trip. That's what it is. taking care of our business in all facets, for us the travel part of it, for us getting prepped to take care of before the game, after the game, and through the course of the trip. So, again, we want to utilize it and use it to for the benefit of getting on the road, being able to travel and take care of our business as a team. But at the end of the day, like you said, we're going to have that leadership from our older guys that's been in this action before and have gotten on the road and know how to travel. And, this is the first time with me for us getting on the road, making a trip that's 2 hours or over 2 hours. So, we look forward to the opportunity that we're going to have, for us making the trip over there. But our guys got to step up and know how to handle it. And our younger guys got to fall in suit because they had never done it before, our ninth graders and everything. So we're going to utilize it. We're going to keep an eye on them and, kind of take it from there,
What are some of the things you're looking for besides just winning the football game? Obviously, you're a competitive person. When that scoreboard goes hot, you're over there to playing to win the football game. But what are some other things you're looking for out of your football team? We had talked about after the first couple of weeks of the season that you guys had a tough time getting out of your own way, as you would put it. Just kind of some self-inflicted wounds, sometimes being your own worst enemy as opposed to the team you were competing against. What are some of the things you're looking for out of your bunch in terms of execution and overall performance in the game tomorrow night?
Well, the biggest thing, you want to compete. I'm waiting to see if our guys going to step up to the occasion and compete on a consistent basis. Swings happen in a football game. We talked about handling the swings of the game. If they get a first down, if they get a big play, how you going to respond? If we get a big play, how we going to respond? Our attitude and our mentality as a whole, our kids have gotten to, we can't drop our heads if they get a big play, or we got to handle the moment if we get a big play. We got to learn how to do those things. And those things come from being consistent, practicing as a team, and doing those, being in the moment in practice. It carries over to a Friday night game. So main thing, we want to compete and get after it and handle the elements of the game, be able to weather the storm. That comes from an experienced team or a team that has been in that situation in practice, and we put them in that situation on a consistent basis, and we be able to handle it, and just keep on keeping on. No matter what the outcome is, we can't do anything about the last play. We can't do anything about last Friday night. We can only control the things that's in front of us. So those are things that we've been talking to our kids about and trying to sell to our kids that they got to play the next play and prepare ourselves for the next play and just be prepared as a team to take care of our business and control the things in front of us. We want to bend but don't break defense. We want to make sure we limit the big play. Don't give up the big play. And the same thing we've talked about before, just the fundamental part of the game. We got to block and tackle. And that's going to be the difference in that game tomorrow.
I tell you, I think you made a great point there, and you and I have talked about it many times over the last several months about handling the ups and downs of a contest, regardless of the sport, and how you react to that. You don't have to go into a game wondering if you're going to get a tough call, wondering if you're going to get a bad call. Odds are you are. But how do you react when that happens? So many times you watch a team, whether it's the coaching staff and or the players, react poorly to it, and then all of a sudden a close competitive game turns into a 2, a 3, maybe even a 4-score game, and before you know it, you're out of it from a competitive standpoint because you did not handle the little bit of adversity that presented itself, a quarter before, a play before, whatever it is. And certainly when you're playing a quality opponent, that only gets magnified if you drop your guard or if you lose your mental focus. It can happen in a hurry. So I'm excited to see how that goes for you guys over there tomorrow night. And I think, like you said, that's a little bit of the growth process. I mean, if you get over there and you handle that well, I think that would be things that you could be encouraged about as the season moves on.
Yeah, that's the maturity of your team. You have to have a mature team as a whole, and we're asking our younger guys to be mature and be able to handle the elements of the game. And, that's something that comes from time, and the maturity of the kids. So we want them to mature as a team. We want them to find ways to get the job done and compete as a team. And, if they do that, we'll be fine. We feel like we'll be fine. And we got some good kids. I think they're understanding. We're getting better at learning how to practice a day in and day out on a day-to-day basis. And that's just something that we got to be able to do as a team and compete and weather the storm on whatever the situation might be. We don't know what might happen in the course of a game, early or late. So we got to be able to handle the elements of it and kind of go from there. And I'll be tickled to see how our guys going to handle it,
What will be some things, Coach, tomorrow is, of course, week 5 in the season. After tomorrow night, you'll have half the season, half the regular season anyway, in the book, so to speak. When you started week 1, where did you kind of think you were as a football team? What did you kind of think y'all were from an identity standpoint? And where do you think you stack up with that now? I know it's not a finished product. I know it's not where it's going to be, where you want it to be. But in terms of where we've come in 5 weeks, where would you kind of evaluate the football team as of now?
Well, that's actually a good question. As a whole, I know we've gotten better in a lot of different areas. I know that we're believing and understanding what we're trying to sell and what we're trying to do. Some older guys kind of, we sit back in some elements or some situations that we have been in the past, and we sort of handle them like that. But we've been selling and practicing a certain way, and we handle different things the way we need to handle them as a team. So, I've been proud of our guys of adjusting to the elements or the atmosphere of the game or what we're trying to sell to them right now. And, we've gotten better in that aspect. We've gotten better on learning how to practice. We've still got to be better in that area, but we've gotten better overall on just handling day-to-day operations of being able to practice and being able to be focused mentally throughout the course of a practice or throughout the course of a game. So, again, it's going to be determined by our leaders or our guys, the suspected leaders that can step up to the plate, lead our team by example, and just do it the right way and have a good time playing the game.
Where are you as September starts to roll out, and we'll flip the calendar October? You guys have been banging heads since the 1st of August, and of course football just by nature is a physical game to play. Where are you from a health standpoint? I know you had the flu bug go through the team here a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully that has left the locker room, but from a physical standpoint and where you are from a health standpoint, how have you held up to this point?
Well, actually, that flu bug didn't leave the locker room. I actually got another hit of it this week.
Oh, goodness.
Actually got a starter that's had it, and I think he's going to try to work it out. And it was early in the week, so maybe he'll be able to be with us tomorrow. He missed a couple of days of practice, so that's something that we just got to try to continue to battle. We got nicked and bruised here and there, but for the most part, overall, we're pretty healthy. Brandon Brazil was one that went down a couple of weeks ago. I'll find out his status on tomorrow. For his future here, for his playing the rest of the way out. But I think we'll end up getting him back, if not next week, possibly the following week. But again, main thing, like I've said before in the past, we got to play the next best man up. And that's where we're at. I mean, Austin McCall is our center. Like I said, he's the one that had the flu deal early in the week. He's actually had the strep a couple weeks ago. So, the next man up. We have another freshman that steps up and follows that role and gets the job done. So I like our guys. I like the guys, the fact that they're stepping up. They know we don't have any respect to people. We'll play anybody. We'll play a freshman just well. We'll play a senior. We're going to play the best man to help our program and our football team to be successful. So, I've been real pleased with our guys overall for us stepping up to the plate and understanding that, you just need to be ready to play every day, because you never know when your name or your number's going to get called.
Very good. We're going to take a short break. Make sure you stay with us. When we come back, we're going to have LaDon Simmons here on the set with us, breaking down a little more WSN football. Then we'll have Coach there towards the end of the show. So make sure you stay with us. You're listening to Go Big Blue on Boss Man Productions. And we are back here at Go Big Blue live at Camp 31. Larry Murphy good enough to have us in each of the last couple of weeks. I think the plans are to be here throughout the 2017
That works, don't
football.
it?
That works a little better, doesn't it, LaDon?
A lot better.
Of course, joining me now, LaDon Simmons. LaDon, of course, handles the play-by-play for the WSN Blue Eagles, has done that for many years, has also been a stalwart in the community. Everybody, LaDon's a friend to everybody, and we certainly appreciate you taking time out to be with us here tonight.
Well, I sure appreciate the invite, David. Sure do, about coming out and being a part of this program here. The great job that you and Ken has put together here to bring this to the community and for WSN, and also to Coach Andrew Williams, that the great talent, that he's made here. Very good talent that he's brought out for WSN this year. Very young team, but just really getting it out of them this year.
Certainly, once again, we want to recognize the sponsors and give them their due. Without their support, this program would be possible each and every week. So I just want to run through them again if I can real quick. Timberline Homes with Winston Lindsay, David's Catfish with Josh Godwin, South Alabama Kubota Rental there in Monroeville, Daniel Sawyer, LA Party Rentals with Dwayne and Amber Graves, United Bank, Lauren Yoder, Williams Memorial Chapel, Mike and Michael Williams, Trustmart Bank, Horton's Insurance, Keith Horton, Camp 31 here, our host tonight, Larry Murphy, Weavers on the Boardwalk with Andrew and Jenny Clark, Lucas Tire and Welding, Terry Lucas, Tommy Thompson Trucking, Encore Rehabilitation, Holmes Pest Control, JoJo Holmes, the City of East Bruton with Mayor Terry Clark and the City Council, James Furniture, Jesse Rigby, Bruton Mill Federal Credit Union, Linda Williamson, Northside Tire and Garage with Wesley Finley, Shara Lawn Care, Michael Shara, and Fred's Department Store with Peggy Booker. So thank you to each of those businesses and individuals for supporting Go Big Blue. We appreciate that. And if you get a chance to trade with any and all of these people, we would encourage you to do so. Certainly if you see them out in town, shake their hand and pat them on the back and thank them.
Sure do. And it's a big part of how we bring this program, out for them. One that you mentioned about us bringing you play-by-play action every week, on WBJ each and every week there. We started this, I guess now was about, 22 years ago. The late Dennis Dunaway brought it to me, and he said, how would you like to be a part of radio and, broadcasting each and every week for the football games? I told him, I said, it really sounds like a good idea. So, with Dennis and then Terry Clark come on board with us, we actually went to the radio station, kind of practiced a little bit, to start with, how you get that feel for it, to make sure everything's going to go well. But, this has been going on now 22 years, and we've loved being a part of it each and every week.
LaDon, if you will, speak just a moment, and you mentioned a little bit earlier about Andrew Williams, having him here in town, having him in the community, having him there at the school, and anybody who follows high school football and the landscape that is that, he's a rising star. He's a star in the coaching circles. Certainly, WSN is lucky to have him. We appreciate everything that Coach Hain did here as well. Coach Hain laid a good foundation to build off of. But Coach Williams, I really think, is going to take this thing to the next level. You mentioned having a young football team this year, and of course, he won't use that as an excuse. It is no excuse. They played good football here through 4 games, and of course, playing some of the Giants tomorrow. But excited to have him here and speak about some of the enthusiasm and some of the energy that he's brought to the community and the school.
Exactly. It's like one thing about Coach Andrew, he's came in, he's brand new to this community, and he's really worked these guys. One thing I did hear about with the guys, they talked about Coach Andrew, how he may be in the clubhouse at times and they may be on the field. And one thing, he got a hold to him very quick, and told him he's the boss. And when he walks out of that clubhouse and comes to that field, these guys say they kind of walk a straight line now. No playing around or whatever. They know how Coach Andrew is. And I think that's good that the coach can come in brand new and he can get the trust of these guys to know, hey, I'm the coach and we're going to have a program here if you'll let me build one. And we talk about how young they are. Very young team this year for Coach Andrew, is coming in and doing an excellent job with them. From the first game of the season, I've noticed a big improvement out of the WSN Blue Eagles.
He, whether it's in the business sector or as a teacher, or in this case a coach, when you embody the different characteristics that Coach Williams does, he believes in hard work. He believes in outworking anybody that he's going to come in contact with or compete against. He believes in accountability. He believes in character, all those things. And when you have those elements in place and you believe in them and you reinforce them day after day after day, you not only make, in this case, championship football players, you make champions of people. I mean, that's how you change lives. I mean, that's how you develop young men to become good citizens out in the community. Whether it's when they're age appropriate as a parent or as an employee or or whatever the case may be. And I think that's the true greatness that you see down the road is what these guys will take from lessons learned under his tutelage and how they will apply it to their everyday lives. And that's always exciting to me, to see the journey of a young person as opposed to just necessarily the game itself.
Well, you're right. And, we know where Coach Andrew came from, a good program where he came from, a wonderful program over there. Brings it to WSN now. A lot of folks, a lot of times tend to think, okay, well, we should have a winning season this year. It's not all a part of this year. Sure, you'd love to win every ball game, but sometimes it don't happen that way. You have to play it year by year, and he's building a program. And one thing I did notice last week, a lot of the guys got in and got some experience, and there's where you build your program at right there, is where these guys come out and that you give them the chance to play the whole second half pretty much. And you can't tell a freshman not to score. Okay, there's no way you can tell him, don't score that way. They're going to run the ball. They're going to fight their way to that goal line, and just what some of them did and got the scores for. Gives them a lot of experience. Sure
we spoke about that on the first segment of the program, and we talked a little bit about it. And, of course, you've worked with young people in recreation for many years. Me and you have crossed paths several times. There at the ball fields. I've seen you there late at night like myself. And I know one of the things that you enjoy in those games, or some of the younger guys getting in, is getting to call their name and give them recognition, and let their parents and families and friends hear that name. It's a win-win situation. And to see those guys go out and kind of sometimes be the scout team, for 3 or 4 weeks and get their brains beat in pretty good, to get to go out there and mix it up for real, it's nice.
Well, like you said, I have been involved with youth football. I've been involved with the middle school football, the varsity B, what you want to call it now, your JV teams. I've been involved with those for years now. And like you said, seeing these kids come up, the 8, 9, and 10-year-olds coming up, then they get to the 17, 18-year-olds to where they're playing high school football now. You say, hey, I had a little part of that several years ago. And it does a little something for you, a lot of good recognition there for it.
I tell you, and you've seen this for years, and Ken and I have talked about it several times ourselves. We were talking about it with James before the program here tonight. The response to Go Big Blue has been amazing. It's been nothing short of amazing. Ken is good to put up a video each week to kind of promote the next show. And
wonderful job he's been doing.
The most recent one he did with the drone video this past week has had over 9,000 views. And we live in 2 communities. Its population is 10,000. So the promotion that it's getting for the school, that's fun to do because all the young people deserve it.
And your promotion is not just for this community.
Sure.
I mean, it is going out nationwide pretty much. Okay, so you're getting a lot of views out of it, and Ken does a great job at doing the videos that he does for it. Wonderful job on this week's video as he done it. Good looking job as he brought the drone out, like he said, and flew across the field, had some good shots of that.
Had so many comments coming in tonight, and this social media way of getting it out. Ken, like I said, is the engineer that's kind of made this happen in the way that it's allowed WSN fans to reconnect with the program. They don't necessarily have to be in town. We certainly enjoy when they get to come back, and they do get to come back. Certainly want them to watch our teams in person, but to be able to tie them back into the program has been a lot of fun, and we've appreciated the comments. Would encourage you to keep doing so. A little later in the program, we're going to have questions, for Coach. So if you have a question, we'll try to get to it. We'll try to get to it at some point in the program, but it's been a lot of fun on the social interaction.
I can imagine.
It turns into a family reunion. Now, you see names that you hadn't seen. Right. Scott Fountain's been in with us a couple of different times.
Quite a few.
It's been a lot. I see Bo Newton's in here now, and
like I said,
Michelle Nelson. This has been a lot of fun.
Last week for homecoming, I heard a lot of folks talk about how they enjoy watching this here each and every Thursday night that you bring it to them. They'll tie in. They're not in town. They tie in on Facebook, and they can see the program going on. We appreciate each and every one of you. Going out and taking your time out to listen to the program.
And I tell you, the sponsors, we talked about the sponsors of this program. I think it's 22 and counting. We picked up Michael Scherer this week, and we just really appreciate those that are watching the videos. So please thank our sponsors, recognize them.
That's right.
And like I said, the video getting 9,000 views, that's pretty good bang for your buck.
Pretty good.
To get out there and get it exposed. So once again, just encourage everybody to partake with us. We'd rather speak with you, not at you. And this has been a lot of fun. Talk a little bit. You've had a catbird seat for all the home games, away games. Sometimes those away game accommodations can be a little dicey in terms of press boxes or whatnot. You get spoiled there in the Ritz-Carlton that you have at Blue Eagle Stadium, because that is nice. I'm going to tell you, that is nice.
When you have a nice air-conditioned room to go in and a nice piece of
plexiglass.
Oh, yes, and a room all to yourself. We've been in places before that we've had a 3x3 room that we had to get in. Now, you're talking Dennis Dunaway, myself, Terry Clark.
Mitchell Crutchfield sending you a shout out real quick. By the way,
great.
Had to pass
Thank you,
that
Mitchell.
in.
Appreciate that. Sure do. Glad
I'm
you
sorry.
tuned in. I appreciate it. But yeah, you got a 3-by-3 room. That's pretty tight when you get up in there, okay?
Yeah.
And you got those two guys doing play-by-play, and here I am trying to take stats over their shoulders. Gets kind of rough, but like you said, our home games are very nice as we can get in the press box and enjoy ourselves. Like I said, we've got the air conditioning going in the press box. The plexiglass keeps all the cool air in for us. But when you go away, a lot of times we tried to get in the press box. We found that was kind of difficult at times because a lot of press boxes are not as blessed as we are.
Sure.
And they get kind of small at times, and there's not enough room in this to put you in there. So we like to get on the visitor side over with our fans, and that way we get the interaction from our fans also, while we're on the air. So it just helps us, to be over there with them, and really and truly appreciate, the Chandler Dunaway for still carrying this on for WBJ as we do it each and every Friday night, on 1240 WBJ.
Lewis High Note in from Texas, taking in Go Big Blue from Texas. Welcome, Lewis, and thank you for watching the show. Talking about this year's team, and you've, of course, been able to watch them now for 4 weeks. Right. What have been some of your opinions in terms of when you look out there, what do you see? What are some of the strengths? What are some of the things that are getting stronger? What's been your overall opinion of watching this young Blue Eagle football team?
I see a lot of you, from the game one, okay? I'm going to take game one. A lot of your running backs, your quarterbacks, they're getting more involved and understanding how Coach Andrew Williams' play calling goes. Your running backs are learning more on where to run, how to operate, how to pick up the big holes. We've got some young guys. I'm telling you, our quarterbacks, yes, they've had a little experience under the belts before, but our running backs, practically brand new for you, and just learning a good bit about what it is. And each and every week, you can see the progression that they have got each and every week, even through practice, coming out and watching here and there and seeing just how Coach Andrew puts them to it,
What are going over to Ozark tomorrow to, of course, take on a very good Carroll High football team. We mentioned a little earlier in the program they were 10-0 last year in the regular season, got beat in the third round by the eventual state champions. Of course, they're, I think, ranked number 4 this year in 5A, so another quality opponent over there. What are some of the things you're looking for tomorrow that'll help the Blue Eagles be competitive in the fourth quarter, maybe get that thing done down there at the end?
The main thing is the Blue Eagles need to come out and very much try to get on top. The very first thing, you get that first score, and it puts them in a hole now. They've got to do something other. And surely, being a 5A team and 4-0 right now in the football, they're going to come out and they're going to play their style of football. That's one thing the Blue Eagles have got to be ready and get down and get dirty and go at them. Sure do.
When the schedule's released, you play who's on the schedule. I get that. Coach Williams walked into a situation, he inherited the schedule. But in week 5, when you have a non-region contest and you still have Andalusia and UMS sitting out there are certainly easier people to pick on than the number 4 team in 5A.
You're right.
But, hey, you go, buckle down that chin strap and go play them all.
Well, a couple of years ago, we had to travel over to UMS. Now, that's been really a thorn in the Eagles' side for a couple of years. Is you travel to UMS. First off, you've got to go over there in UMS and play. That's over in Mobile. Pretty good, hard place to play football over there. Nice stadium, don't get me wrong. Very nice stadium for just a hard place to play football for you. And also last year, the way they brought the new scheduling out for the areas, redone the areas there, then that put WSN having to go back twice and saying, the next year to Mobile. This year we've got UMS at home, and look forward to a lot better game between UMS and WSN.
Very good. Well, that's going to bring us to another break. And LaDon, once again, thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to come spend some time with us here at Go Big Blue. And want to wish you safe travels over tomorrow. And we look forward to catching up with you next week.
Sure will. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. We're going to take another short break. When we come back, we'll have Coach Williams back here on the set. So if you have a question, once again, we appreciate all the comments. If you have a question, type it in. We'll see if we can get Coach to answer it for you. Make sure you stay with us. You're listening to Go Big Blue.
And we are back here at Camp 31 with Go Big Blue. And Coach, before we get started, I want to send a shout out to Rosie Benjamin, taking the show in from Lauderhill, Florida. That's pretty good stuff, isn't it?
That's good stuff. That's
Reconnecting Blue Eagle fans all across the country.
Exactly.
Already had Mr. High Note in from Texas. Now we have Miss Benjamin in from Lauderhill, Florida. So if you're in on the program and following it, we would encourage you to post as you see fit, share the video as you see fit as well. We are going to take questions for the coach this last part of the program. So if you have a question, certainly feel free to ask it. Or if you just want to offer a comment, good luck, well wishes, whatever the case may be, now is the time to start serving that up. And of course, Coach, we just had LaDon Simmons here, and he has been he's another part of that support system that sometimes doesn't get the thanks he deserves. He's been doing it a long time. He's another one of those guys that if there's anything he can do to help the program or assist you personally, he will certainly do it. I know you appreciate his efforts also.
We do, man. He's doing a great job for us up there on the radio. Undoubtedly, we don't get a chance to hear that part of the program, but appreciate his efforts and what he do to be able to sponsor WSN football, on the radio.
Coach, I know that you're also hoping that a big contingent of Blue Eagle fans will make the road trip over tomorrow to the Wiregrass. I know they will. WSN has always traveled well, but it is nice that WEBJ does provide the radio coverage. So some of those fans that can't make it or unable to make the trip, they'll still be able to follow and support your football team. I know you appreciate the coverage from WEBJ as well.
We do, and we appreciate everything they do, for us. Supporting our program here, and I know they've been doing it a long time, and met LaDon when I first got here actually, and tell he's just good people and all loyal supporters of WSN.
A little more detail about Carroll and the obstacle they're going to be tomorrow for Blue Eagle fans who may not be able to go over and take it on or take the game in person. How are they going to line up and try to attack you from an offensive standpoint? Are they a spread team? Are they a power running team? What can we look for out of Carroll?
They're going to line up in the I backfield. Old school with two tights and run right down your throat.
Come and get it.
That's right, and make you like it. And they don't deviate. Like I said, they got an old school coach, and he's an old school type guy that believes in just lining up, pounding the football on top of him. And he's got a core of backs. He rotates about 4 guys back there in that backfield, possibly 5 at times, and he's gonna come up right at you. He get on the other side of the 50, he's gonna be in 4-down territory. There's not no punting going on, so he's gonna line up and he feels pretty confident about his guys, and he's gonna come right at you, because sort of come straight ahead like he's tailor-made,
Gonna challenge your manhood a little bit.
Exactly, that's right, and that's what we've been talking to our kids about all week. I'm anxious to find out how we're gonna handle the elements of it when they just line up and start smacking you in the face, or are we gonna stand up and bow up and smack back, or are we gonna lay down and take the smacking for the most part? So we play this kind of game we want to play.
Sure.
As well, we are a little bit more versatile, defensively and offensively, as far as that concerned. But we look forward to the challenges that they got to offer. We want to be in, but don't break defensively. Offensively, we want to be able to pound it on them a little bit ourselves. And I know that Coach McDonald's, knowing my background, he sort of kept up what's been going on. And I have a few ties over there, not really ties, but one of my friends that I became good friends in this coaching realm business, he was actually the coach over there for probably about 3 or 4 months. And he actually passed in a car accident at Carroll of Ozark. And this was around 2012. And he coached with me on my staff, and he actually left over and went over there. And so I had some ties over there on that end with him. And his name was Coach Stacy Waters. And, so he kind of remembered when he left out of there. I think he took the job after he did over there at Carroll. And he's done a great job over there. But like I said, they're going to be a football team that's going to be fast and physical. And like I said, it's going to be a good look for us out of region play. And we know we're going to jump back in region play next week, but we got to make sure we take care of it right now. And because we'll have somebody else on our schedule that'll line up and try to play us the same kind of way. So we need to be able to handle what they got to offer, the elements of it,
A really exciting opportunity for your football team as a coaching staff, as players. You get over there, you're playing a heralded football team, larger classification. They're ranked very high, deservingly so. I've always kind of felt like and experienced, I guess, when you get one of those teams, if you can keep it competitive and you can get it in the second half and get them thinking a little bit, maybe having a little self-doubt there in their minds, because I would think that they would probably think that, hey, a 4A school's coming over here, we beat them last year, maybe they don't want to show up looking for a fight, and all of a sudden you find yourselves in one, that ball bounces the right way one or two times, look out, and the Blue Eagles go over there and get a big victory.
Well, we feel like if we get in the game there late in that fourth, in the fourth quarter for the most part, and I think that we have the better high side on that deal for us offensively, what we're doing more so than they do. I think overall, if we can just be in the game there, and we got to make sure we beat them, don't break. I think it helped us to play a lot of our guys one way up front. This week is a week where we had to put some other guys over there to go both ways. They pretty much going to put a product out there, an offensive group and a defensive group. They have 2 or 3 guys that'll roll a little bit, but pretty much they're going one way. And, again, we had to play some guys, but we're going to have some guys coming in and roll to try to make us be able to finish this game, for the most part. But, again, I'll be anxious to see how we're going to handle it. And, we just need to be able to battle and compete for 4 quarters.
A couple of weeks ago, you talked about during the summer, during the preseason, you put in a lot of your base stuff, whether you're facing a spread offense, whether you're facing a 2 tight end I formation team like you face tomorrow night, or a wing T, whatever it may be, and then given the game week opponent, you kind of tweak and make adjustments to cater to that opponent. Have you found that to be a pretty smooth transition this week in terms of getting ready for the 2 tight end set I formation? Has it been a good week of practice for you?
It has been a great week of practice. Our key is transformed into what we're doing this week because, we sort of put in our product, but we didn't deviate all the way from the stuff that they were doing last year for the most part. We find our guys that can do some things that they were doing last year on this team and kind of put it together with what we're trying to do defensively. And so, we want to be versatile on the defensive side of the ball as well. So, this is going to be one of those weeks where we're going to line up, and we tweaked it a lot, actually. Sure. But it's some things that we've done before. So it's nothing, new that our kids can handle. And the fact that they're so based offensively, it makes it easy. We're just going to line up and play football, for the most part. They're not going to try to fool you a whole lot. I mean, they do a good job in the play action. I mean, they probably percentage passing the ball is very, very high because of what they do running the ball.
Sure.
Everything they do throwing the ball is off play action. So, we got to make sure we got good eye discipline and make sure we're doing a good job of reading what our eyes see from the secondary standpoint to be able to defend the pass when they do try to throw it. But for the most part, we got to defend the run at first. And then we got to make sure we got that great eye discipline in our secondary to make sure when they do throw that we're in position, sort of like we do offensively at times, So I look forward to the challenge and the opportunities that we have. And, it should be a great atmosphere and a great night of football. Like I said, it's a good out-of-region type deal. It'll raise some eyebrows. We go over there and take care of our business and do what we got to do. And it'll put us on track here to be, on a 3-game skid here of getting us a win.
Right.
And then going back into region play to finish this thing out in region play for the next 4 weeks. So, like I said, it's a good opportunity for us either way it go. It's an out-of-region opponent, and we're going to try to have a good time with it. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure we take care of our business and try to win the game. We're here to win. We don't have any respect to people. And I've been telling our kids that from day one. We'll line up against Hoover or whoever it is. We just got to be able to do what we got to do and take care of us.
Very good. Of course, Michelle Thompson Hutchins in on the broadcast, as well as Lawton Ship and Brian McCall. We appreciate all of you for checking out Go Big Blue tonight. Certainly appreciate the comments. Share the videos you see fit. And, Coach, without tipping your hand too much, because you never know who could be watching this. It's on the World Wide Web. As an offensive play caller, have you seen some things where you think you might have some favorable matchups as well? I know you're going to be, from a size standpoint, they're going to be a little bigger. From a number of players standpoint, they're going to have a few more. But have you seen some things where if execution is cleaned up and taken care of, there might be some opportunities there for you as well?
Yeah, that's no secret, man. Like I said, McDonald, he's one of those guys come straight ahead, tailor-made type guy. I'm the same kind of guy for the most part. We feel like, we see some things that we can kind of move the ball on them with offensively. They guys do a great job of coming off the football. We feel like we ought to be able to trap them a little bit. He's got our film, so he knows we've been hurting people with our book sweep and pack sweep action. So, they got to do some things to help themselves in that dimension of the game, and we feel like we got to be able to counter with our stuff and still be able to run our sweep stuff and belly action and trap and be able to run the football effectively. They're a team that don't get behind the sticks often. They're always in manageable downs. They manage the game. we got to do the same thing. We can't put ourselves in down and distance that we don't want to be in and not manage the game. So again, yeah, we feel like, we execute offensively, and get on blocks, we should be able to move the football. But again, we've got to do the little things that we have to do as a team to take care of the football and get on blocks. And we should be fine.
Well, I found you an opponent for next year, Week 5.
All right, come on.
A mutual friend of ours, 7A, Hewitt Trustful. Juan Johnson's in the house.
He's outside his mind too. You tell him. I hope he's listening, because he can forget about Hewitt.
Coach, they're only number 3 and 7A. Let's get some of that Husky fast and see what they're all about. You want to?
I tell you what, Warren's one of my good friends. He's embraced me coming in here, and I've been real tickled to be around him. Hopefully we're gonna get together a little bit when this is over with. When they finish up, we finish up.
Yeah.
We try to get together on this end and kind of get together and just hang out with each other a little bit. He's a good guy, great coach, great guy. Ever since I've known him, and like I said, he's embraced me coming down here just as much as anything. So, but yeah, he
good
can
man.
get it.
Yeah, there you go, Coach Johnson. We'll wish you well. Good luck tomorrow, also. But as far as getting on the schedule next year, probably not going to happen.
Nah.
Coach, we've also had several comments come in, and of course you don't get an opportunity to see their work as well, but several comments about how well the band has performed throughout the year, and of course the cheerleaders also. And I know you're appreciative of the entire support system and the work they put in and the way they represent their families, the school as well. And I know that you don't, like I said, get the opportunity to see them all the time, but you certainly appreciate their hard work.
We do. Man, our kids, it's about the kids. I'm about these kids and our program as a whole. As long as we're coming in and competing, working hard to support and do it the right way, that's what it's about. And our kids, we got some great kids here at WSN, some of the best kids you can meet. Main thing is we got to make sure we give them a foundation to come to work and give them a platform they can go out and compete and get after it and have a good time, and that's what it's about. That's what all our programs going to end up being about here. We just want to make sure we put a platform there for them to get some results and go to work and be able to take something with them when they become of age, and get out of school. So I've been real tickled with our group as a whole and all our surrounding programs that supporting us,
We're also going to take the opportunity probably as early as next week to start highlighting some of those students from the other athletic clubs, whether it's the volleyball team, the band, certainly the cheerleaders, and we want to promote them and let everybody see how good of kids we have here at WSN, and look forward to getting them in front of the folks. So that'll be in shows to come. Of course, it's been great here again tonight. Once again, just all the sponsors that promote and support the program. Larry Murphy here at Camp 31. If you couldn't be here tonight, make plans to be with us next Thursday and the next Thursday and the next Thursday. Put this on your schedule. I know that people are busy, have a lot going on, but 8 o'clock Thursday nights, we need to turn out in full force here at Camp 31 with Go Big Blue and get the Blue Eagles ready to go on Friday night.
That's right.
Coach, one final thought, one final question going into the end of the program here, and if we pick up the paper or turn on the computer on a late Friday night and see the Blue Eagles have won, what's 2 or 3 things that have probably happened to lead to a Blue Eagle victory?
Those same ingredients. We took care of the football. We tackled and we blocked. If we do those things and play all 3 phases of the game like we need to play it and be sound and limit the big play, we should be fine.
Very good. We're going to wind this thing down here tonight, and once again, I'm going to take just one more opportunity to thank Ken James, executive producer of Boss Man Productions. There were some technical difficulties here tonight. He worked through it. If he hadn't have been here, the program would not have happened. So thank you to Ken for everything that you do. Thank you to all the sponsors, James Grantham, all those that we mentioned, and Coach. Obviously, thank you for letting us be a part of WSN football this year. Wish you all the luck in the world tomorrow. Certainly safe travels coming and going, and look forward to doing it again next week.
You're exactly right, man. Ken James is a professional. I've noticed that. The little time I've been around him, he's a professional in what he's doing. So, he's one that we got to have here.
I can't get it. Well, that's gonna do it for us here tonight. Once again, we've enjoyed it. Make sure to make plans to be here with us next week. You have listened to Go Big Blue, a Boss Man production.
Thank you for watching Go Big Blue. Tune in each week as we keep you up to date on the Blue Eagles. Until next week, Go Big Blue.